but she is a rather intimidating looking wolf, and she's 90 pounds, and Kiska's 75. So for those of you who understand dog lingo, she's what you'd call a runt. In wolf lingo, she is what we call an omega wolf, and we believe that omega wolves are the key to understanding how dogs happen, and we're going to talk about that. If you come up to the refuge, the two other wolves you will meet are both males. One is a 9-year-old male. He's a hybrid. He's three-quarters gray wolf and 1/4 Malamute. And you meet him and you think, this guy's got to be a CEO. He's a perfect leader. He's real good. So the second in command is a 7-year-old wolf whose parents were in fact actors in movies. And his name is Zini, and he's about 110 pounds. But what's interesting, just as anyone who's had a dog, if you spend a lot of quality time with your dog, and don't just walk it, but watch it, let it talk to you, let it show you what's on its mind. Wolves are like that. Their personalities are completely unique. We've had wolves for 25 years. I've never known two wolves who were remotely alike in personality. But I think what happens when you first see a wolf, like you see Kiska, and you're like, oh, it's beautiful. In principle, it's no different than when you see gorgeous men and male and female models on TV or in the magazine, right? Because, and it works. That's what we want to see. They know that. That's why they do that. But when you see a wild animal, you focus on the beauty of the species. At the refuge, you see them running around and, oh, isn't the loping wonderful, blah, 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 blah. And then you spend time with them. And it starts to realize that, no, actually, they're completely different. And this is probably, in the end, what led to dogs. So in any case, first of all, let's talk about, well, what are wolves? What do they really do in nature? Let's say we got an interview with God or Mother Nature, and we asked, well, what are wolves? If they had a job in nature, what is it? She'd say something like, start by controlling the number of beaver, because too many beaver is just as bad for nature as not enough beaver. Not only control the beaver, but control all large hooved mammals, starting with our favorite, the white-tailed deer, mule deer, caribou, and then their lives get super dangerous. No one has a lousier job in nature than a wolf, because they control moose, elk, and bison, animals that are 10 to 20 times their weight. A well-meaning friend of mine who doesn't know much about wolves was whining to me one day, and he completely said, the wolves are bullies. They gang up on the moose. And my response was, they better, because if you think Mike Tyson threw a good right hand, wait till you're kicked in the head by Bruce the Moose. In fact, using moose as an example, wolves are so cautious with moose, they will carefully test 20 moose for each one they decide to attack. And then when they do attack, they're lucky if they kill 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 10. So wolves have a serious, dangerous job in nature. And because of that, wolves are lucky to reach their 5th birthday in the wild. In captivity, our wolves are fed deer killed by cars. Last year in America, we killed 6 million deer with our cars. This is 1 for every 2 taken by hunters. And what's happening, we're seeing a shift. Hunting's declining in every state. Nothing to do with ethics or any of that stuff. It's just that our children and grandchildren are locked into TV and the social media and all that stuff. I predict within 20 years, the #1 killer of the white-tailed deer will be the American automobile, thereby replacing the wolf's job. So I've got a question for the kids who are here, which always kicks this off very well. We like to get a sense of what you guys know, what you believe, and stuff like that. So my question is, if you look at all of North America, what is the most dangerous animal to human beings in North America, aside from other people, which is the correct answer? I mean, not including us. Who wants to take a guess? Who said deer? You nailed it. She's right. Kids always say, wolves, bears, sharks, none of whom make the top 100. But as George Carlin used to put it, he all those wonderful throwaway lines, he'd yell at the crowd, when you read about a bear gang, and they'd shout back, when it bites someone, George, and he'd say, that's called media. Right. I mean, if you're in wolf country, you're much more likely to be killed by lightning, or when your rappelling rope breaks, or you're stung by a bee, find out you're allergic hundreds of miles from a hospital. But if you were killed by a bear, or God forbid a wolf, you'd be known throughout the world thanks to the internet and all that kind of stuff. Wolves have killed 2 people in all of North America in the last 100 years. Do you ever have a friend who's one of those baseball statistics nuts? If you said something like that,